now that school's out, students are pretty much into the summer mindset at this point. But for some parents, this summer is the last summer that their children will experience before heading off to their first year at school.
With that in mind, South Carolina First Steps has launched its annual Countdown to Kindergarten campaign. The team works to ensure that rising kindergartners and their families have resources and support for a smooth transition to the classroom. Here to tell us more is First Steps Communications Director Beth Moore. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, can you first just tell us a little bit about what this campaign is? Break it down for us.
Sure. Well, South Carolina First Steps is the state's dedicated early childhood agency. We work with families from preschool or from pregnancy through preschool for their healthy development and learning, and ultimately to get them ready for kindergarten.
Yeah, this is so important because as they're heading into the kindergarten, these developmental years, you can't take them for granted because they are incredibly important. And so what are some of the things that you're doing to make sure that kids are ready once they step into the classroom?
Right. Well, First Steps works with families from birth through age 5.
Yeah.
Countdown to Kindergarten is our statewide effort to really work with families during that final summer before school starts to make sure they're confident, prepared, and they have a really great relationship with their school and their teacher.
I feel like that age is so important, and sometimes it gets overlooked by, oh, well, they're going to get everything they need to know when they get to kindergarten. Tell us a little bit about why it is so critical to get them from, like you said, pregnancy to pre-K.
Right. Well, we talk a lot about kindergarten readiness. And actually in South Carolina, we have a legal definition of what it means to be ready for school. South Carolina First Steps worked with the Department of Education and partners and educators across the state to develop a list of developmental milestones for rising kindergartners. So we work with families, again, throughout that entire early childhood period to make sure kids have all of those skills and abilities they'll need. And we also understand that every child is different. Yeah. Every child is going to start school in a different place, and we want parents to be assured that if they're worried, there are resources available.
Yeah, so important. Some of the key benchmarks perhaps that parents should be looking for. You almost feel like parents might have a little bit of a sense if their child has a challenge, but what are some of the key benchmarks that you would say for kindergarten readiness?
Well, again, every child is ready in different ways.
Sure.
And may have challenges depending on the needs of the child.
Sure.
So most important is if you do have concerns, there are resources that you can turn to.
Yeah.
You can talk to your healthcare provider. You can also reach out to your school. Even if your child is not quite ready to start kindergarten, maybe 3 or 4 years old, you can reach out to your local school district and tell them that you're concerned and ask for a free evaluation.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to continue this conversation shortly. We're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Beth Moore after this. Welcome back to Primetime as we continue our conversation with Beth Moore of First Steps South Carolina. Now, Beth, in the break we were talking a little bit more about the program, and you told us a little bit about what the teachers, students, and how y'all pair them with families and kids. Dive into that a little bit more for everybody watching about that relationship y'all foster.
Right. So since 2004, we have been connecting families, children, and teachers through the Countdown to Kindergarten Family Engagement Program. This is offered in dozens of schools across the state, and it actually pairs teachers with incoming students who might need extra support in that summer before kindergarten begins. The teacher goes into the home 5 times, and then the family is invited to the classroom. And over the course of the summer, they build really strong relationships. The family learns about kindergarten expectations, and they feel confident and ready on the first day of school.
Yeah, how much of a difference does that make? I imagine just the familiarity just really helps those students as they head into that first day of kindergarten already knowing their teacher, and they have that relationship there.
It has been incredibly successful. The stories that we've heard from both students and teachers and families have really sort of spoken to the transformative power of relationship.
Yeah.
We know that that's sort of the secret sauce to a successful start in school is a really strong relationship between the teacher, the student, and the parent.
Absolutely, and like you said, teachers will go into their homes about 5 times. Give us a little insight into what it is they're going to be doing during those sessions, those days, I guess.
Well, one of the cool things about the Countdown to Kindergarten program is that the family gets a backpack full of really wonderful, high-quality school supplies. And so the teacher will actually go into the home and introduce the student to all of these materials. They will tell the parent about what they are and how they can work with their child at home to develop those critical school readiness skills that they'll need in the classroom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. And this has been going on, you said, for 25 years. I'm certain the results kind of speak for themselves in terms of seeing these kids ready for kindergarten.
Absolutely. We have amazing success stories. Just one example is a student named Stephanie who started her school experience with Countdown to Kindergarten. She is now at Duke University studying neuroscience, was the valedictorian of her high school class, and she really talks about Countdown to Kindergarten as being a really pivotal moment for her and her family.
Obviously, you can see just the path that it fosters for so many students. And we actually have some information that we can pull up right there on your screen for the celebration. It's going to be at Adventure Children's Museum. The address is right there on your screen. Friday, August 2nd, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Again, you can head to www.countdownsc.org for more information. This will also be on our website, wistv.com. But thank you so much, Beth, for being here with us and sharing a lot more about this program with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. We'll be right back with more Prime Time after the break.